Hey guys, today I want to talk about how to attach the remote, which is a remote you can use for GoPro Hero 9, 10, 11, and 12. I want to talk about how I go about attaching that to my bicycle. I really like the remote. It works very well with the GoPros. But what I found when I bought it was I had one heck of a time trying to figure out a way to get it attached to my handlebars in a way so that it would work. And I messed around with it, but ultimately came up with a way that I really like, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So, here we go. So this is the GoPro The Remote. I do not have the remote turned on, and you have to go in and set it up so it will work with your GoPro. And I'm not going to go into that. There are many good videos that'll show you how to do that. But this is the remote. I've attached a lanyard to it because when I'm attaching it on my bike, I've lost a couple of things off my bike, and I learned the hard way to put a lanyard, but anyway, that's the lanyard that has a little place right here to attach it. But the way the GoPro The Remote comes, it has this belt that comes with it from GoPro, and this belt basically goes inside here, and then what you can do is pull the strap around and tighten it. Now what I found was when I tried to use that belt on my handlebars, I ran into two problems. One, the belt is much larger than you need for the handlebar, and even if you wrap it around and attach it, I could never get it tight or the way I wanted it. So that just wasn't working for me. So here's what I made. This piece of rubber will go inside right in here like this. And I have attached to each side of the rubber. And by the way, this rubber came from an old tire inner tube, so it's pretty thick rubber. I punched, I cut a piece, a couple of inches, maybe 2 inches along here. And then I attached with zip ties, punched holes in the zip ties and punched holes in the rubber. And then I attached to the end of the rubber two-sided Velcro. It has a smooth side of the Velcro on one side, and then the other side has a rough side of Velcro, and it's just the opposite on the back. But anyway, I have that piece that goes inside, like I said, inside to the slot on the back of the remote, and it's, I've got it so that it's long enough so that when it goes over the handlebars, I can pull tight and it'll attach, and then that way, because it's pulled tight with that rubber, it will actually give you a pretty firm grip. Now, just to give you an idea, I'm going to show you the measurements here. So the total length of this thing is about 110 millimeters, or about 4.5 inches, and each of the Velcro strips is about 40 millimeters, or about 1.5 inches. And then the rubber piece that I cut that went in the middle is about 2.5 inches, or about 65 millimeters, to give you some idea of the dimensions and proportions here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it and show you how I attach it on my bike. Okay, so I've gone in now and I've attached the strap to the remote, and you'll see the rubber runs through that slot, and on either side are the Velcro strips. Now the way you want to do it is you want to have the rough side of the Velcro on this side on the bottom, and the rough side on the bottom. In other words, you want to have on the Velcro, the two-sided Velcro, you want to have either the rough on both sides on the bottom, or the smooth on both sides of the bottom, because when you put it over the handlebar, you need to be able to have it go like that and attach and be a good attachment. Okay, I'm going to attach it, or show you attaching it to the bike here. Okay, here is the remote. I've already attached the lanyard. I'm sure you don't really care too much about that, but I've already got the lanyard attached. And the way I like it on my handlebars, I like it right over here on the right side or the drive side, and I want the button right where I can just reach over and touch it. So once I get it on, I take the strap, and by the way, I put the lanyard sort of under it. So anyway, I turn it up so I can sort of see what I'm doing here, and I pull one side of the Velcro strap and then just come over and attach it like that. And that was not very good, but if I want it good and tight, I pull it good and tight like that. Now it's attached to the handlebar. Then I pull it over to the side and sort of let it catch on the mounting for the shifter or the brake, and now it's on there pretty tight. It's attached with the lanyard in case something happens with the strap, and then you can just reach over from the handlebar grip with your thumb and turn it on and off as you're riding. It's right there at it. When you want it to come off, you just simply move it over and then grab at the end, pull it off, and it comes right off. So anyway, that's how I attach the remote to my handlebar. By the way, I highly recommend the remote if you're using a GoPro. I really like the convenience of it. I'm doing a lot more recording with it just because I can turn my GoPro on a lot easier, and the GoPro works very well with the remote. But anyway, that's what I'm using. That's what I did. I hope it gave you something to think about here, and I'll see you guys at the top.